In our first story, 5 workers of the mining firm Goldfields at Takwa in the Western region were injured after shots were fired during a demonstration Monday morning. The workers also accused the military and the police of brutalities during the demonstration. 8 other workers currently are in police custody for their involvement in the altercation with the police, who are also saying the whole demonstration was illegal. There's more in this report.
The workers were protesting a decision by management of Goldfields Ghana Limited to lay them off, despite an order by the Accra High Court for the action to be stayed pending the determination of the matter by the appeals court. Some of the workers tell JoyNews management brought in the military to force them to sign the severance agreement. Abdul Mumin Bana is Deputy General Secretary of the Mine Workers Union.
Unfortunately, Goldfields arrogated to its powers outside of the court and decided to serve these severance letters by force. And in doing that, they did that with the support of the military, armed military. And so, arising out of the intimidation on the ground, employees had no choice but to sign these documents under duress. And that is a clear case that we witnessed over the period. And so, what brought us together this morning was on the back of the atrocities visited upon us. And if you inflict such pain on workers, certainly we cannot sit aloof. And so we got together in solidarity this morning to demonstrate to Goldfields, to demonstrate to the government of the day, because we have repeatedly raised these issues in the public space. Indeed, we have presented petitions not only to the presidency, but also to the relevant ministries and agencies. And so our expectation was that the government would intervene swiftly to look at the issue and bring it to some amicable settlement. Nonetheless, we realized that the government was hesitant. And so today's demonstration was just in response to the atrocities visited upon us, and also to demonstrate to the government that we have actually been ill-treated. And so it's important that it intervenes swiftly.
A joint police and military force numbering about 200 deployed to the scene are said to have fired on the protesters. One of the injured workers accused their security officers of using brute force on them.
So this morning, we went there, there was no work today. The management of Goldfields Ghana Limited should come in and should sit with the union so that they will negotiate the good. If only we will go out, they should give us our good service. And armed military men attack us. We do not go there even with cane, we even stone, we don't have anything. Only what we are holding is only drums that we are holding. And they came in with armed and they started firing. Look at my head. This all some of the results that happened to me with the armed military men and police.
Some of the workers have returned to work, whilst others are awaiting directive from the union. Inathalia Kwanzaa's report for JoyNews.
Meanwhile, the leadership of Goldfields Ghana is accusing the leadership of the Mine Workers Union of masterminding the demonstration and also manipulating staff to join in the protest. Vice President and Head of Stakeholder Relations for the mining firm, David Johnson, tells JoyNews members of the association had blocked the entrance to the Takwa gold mine, preventing workers from going about their normal duties. He added the police had to be called in to restore order as the demonstration, which had been extended to the main road, was disrupting traffic on the Takrady-Kumasi Highway. David John was speaking with JoyNews' Benis Abubeidu.
This is what I heard from my contacts on the mine, and I've heard it from more than one person. So the Ghana Mine Workers Union, the executive, the national executives, had actually arranged for cars to be used to block the main access to the mine, which meant that employees who had finished their night shift could not go back home. Employees who were coming in for the morning shift could not get onto the mine because they had actually, blocked the road. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with our Takwa mine, but it's not very far from the actual highway from Kumasi to Takrady. My understanding is that the traffic, as a result of the blockade, had actually spilled onto the highway, and so cars were not able to go in either direction. I mean, obviously, the police had to be called in because this is a public road that has to be accessed by all Ghanaians, and also it's the road that actually leads to the mine hospital, which happens to be the second biggest hospital in the municipality. And so those who needed medical attention could not even access the hospital. So the police came in and tried to enforce the law and also ensure that there is order. I've heard that there were gunshots and tear gas, I believe. I'm not sure about the details and what actually triggered that. I'm sure the police, the police unit would be in a position to explain that. But I think it's very unfortunate that it happened this way, and we wish whoever got injured the very best. But it shouldn't get to this point, and I see no justification at all for denying workers the right to go to work and make a living by blocking roads and all of that.
So again, you're saying here that this was not a decision by the workers; it was forced, or quote unquote, it was a forced action by the Ghana Mine Workers Union.
Which decision in particular?
The decision not to work today, because a worker who spoke to us on condition of anonymity claims that the night shift workers decided to lay down their tools, and then the morning shift decided to join them. But here you're telling us the Ghana Mine Workers Union blocked the road, so they couldn't come back from their night shift.
But there were night workers.
Yes.
I'm not sure at what point they decided to drop their tools, but they worked throughout the night. So I'm not sure at what point they decided to lay down their tools. And there were actually workers who were coming to work in buses. So, I mean, if workers had decided not to come to work, they just wouldn't have shown up. But there were workers on buses who were actually coming to work.
Parliament is set to question the Procurement Minister, Adwoa Safo, over claims that the Maslow Chief Executive, Stephen Amwa, awarded a 28.8 million Ghana cedi contract for the purchase of some 1,800 second-hand vehicles from Germany. According to the Ashaman MP, Ernest Nogbe, the contract, which was awarded to a private firm, Dextro Impex Company Limited, did not go through competitive bidding. He says there was no grounds to have sole sourced the contract and that the award of the contract was illegal. Ernest Nogbe also claims that the Maslow Chief Executive gave the company a letter of comfort or cred to allow them raise funds to execute the contract.
At the time that these contracts were signed at Maslow, there was no board in place. The Maslow board was not in place, but the chief executive alone took it upon himself to do all these things. There were a contract worth of 28.8 million Ghana cedis to procure 1,800 vehicles from Germany, 2011 model. So we need to know, because we are talking of sole sourcing, and we are also talking of corruption. If one single person, Chief Executive Stephen Amwa, can take this particular challenge upon his shoulders to award a contract worth that amount, then we have a cause to worry in this country.
Sometimes the reaction is that the laws allow for sole sourcing, except that the Public Procurement Authority needs to give the necessary approval. Do you have information that even at the level of the PPA, this approval wasn't given, for which you think there may be a problem? Actually,
this approval was not given. PPA cannot even give approval on this particular procurement. Under which condition, under which emergency that they are procuring this thing? Because there are some grounds. There are grounds in Section 40 of the Public Procurement Act that will necessitate you to go in for sole sourcing. This does not fall under any of the grounds there. You are procuring vehicles, 1,800 vehicles. What is the emergency nature about this? Or does it mean that we cannot get these vehicles from various sources in which that you cannot open tender, competitive tendering. So you realize that this does not fall under any of the grounds that will necessitate anybody to go in for sole sourcing. So basically you realize that what is happening, if the chief executive can give a letter of credit, because even the company that they awarded the contract to did not have the financial stamina to undertake this particular project. But the chief executive has given him a letter of credit, a letter of comfort to go and solicit for funds and then procure the vehicles.
Do you suspect this could possibly be grounds for corruption breeding?
It is total grounds for corruption. I need not. I don't need Martin Amidou to tell me this is a ground for corruption.
In other news, an Indian businessman, Ashok Kumar, who has been battling the Interior Ministry over his residence and work permit, has been deported to his home country. His wife tells JoyNews that immigration officers stormed their home over the weekend to forcibly remove him, breaking into their house with concrete blocks in the process. According to Gifty Adanka, the 6 immigration officers physically assaulted her before they took her husband away to the Kutuka International Airport to board a flight to India. The deportation comes days after the Supreme Court quashed a decision by an Accra High Court restoring the residence and work permits of the Indian businessman. The Ghanaian wife of the businessman says she's yet to overcome the weekend morning's trauma.
Well, actually yesterday I got back from church around 9:30. So I was inside my bedroom trying to change. Then Ashok Kumar came in. And it was like, did you hear a noise outside? And I said, no, I didn't hear anything. Suddenly I saw a guy peek through our bedroom window. He climbed a ladder and peeked through the window and said to me that, I mean, he didn't directly say to me, he just said, open the door. So I said, I was kind of shocked though, so I was like, open the door. He says, yes, open the door. And I said, I'm not going to open the door till I speak to my lawyer. He says, I don't take orders from you.
Okay. At that point, why did you mention your lawyer? Who was this person who was peeping through your bed?
Because he was in a uniform, so I assume he's an immigration officer.
Okay. What kind of uniform was he? Okay.
It was a green color. So he says, I will not take directions from you. I will not take orders from you. Then he picked a block and he started smashing the door, hitting the door until the door broke. And he came in. And so while he was hitting the door, I tried to take a photo because I was shocked that a thing of that sort could happen. And moreover, he didn't even show us anything that some kind of warrant or something. He came in and he says I should give my phone to him. I said I will not. He didn't even ask, give me your phone. He just attacked me, forcefully trying to take the phone from me. So I said, I'm not going to give you my phone. And he twisted my arm, pushed me down the couch, and I was also trying to hold my phone from him, and he started smacking me, and eventually they collect my phone, and they went through the bedroom also and took and dragged Ashok out. See, my cheek here, it was swelling yesterday, so I had to go to the hospital. Very traumatized. I feel mistreated. I feel like I'm a Ghanaian being mistreated in my home, in my own land. I feel like they don't even take me into consideration. I'm a Ghanaian, so I don't even know whether the law doesn't even protect Ghanaians or what. The law, I don't know whom the law is supposed to be protecting. It's so crazy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that I'll be treated like this. And moreover, Ashok is such, I wish you had the opportunity to meet him. He's such a nice person. This guy is such a lovely guy. He can't even hurt a fly. It's really painful. It's really painful.
Sorry. But have you reported this incident to the police? Sorry.
Yes, yesterday I did.
What did the police say?
They had asked me to go for the medical. They've given me a medical form, so I went to the hospital.
these are some of the workers from the company owned by the Indian businessman. They are not happy about what happened on Sunday morning. A lot of them say when the Indian businessman is forced to leave this country, they would also lose their source of livelihoods. And that is what is triggering this demonstration here at his workplace this morning.
I have 2 kids and a wife to take care of. Without this, our job is not going to go anywhere. I don't know how we're going to survive. So please, plead with the government. Whatever they have to do, you have to intercede on our behalf. We should bring back our boss.
We are pleading. We are pleading. We just want to beg the president, Mr. President, that he should intervene.
Well, we'll follow up on the story. We'll bring you a lot more. But let's move on. Leading IT training institution NIT Ghana has presented computers and assorted IT training books to the Betanasi MA JHS in the Ejurase district at a cost of 35,000 Ghana cedis. The ingenuity of an ICT teacher of the school, who in the absence of a computer draws the interface of the modern communication device on the blackboard for lessons, attracted the support of the premium IT training institution in Ghana. Pictures of the gentleman went viral of the 34-year-old Richard Akotuapia, known as Ura Kwejo Hotish, on Facebook, depicting him draw the Microsoft Word software interface and other components on the board in an ICT class at his school, the Betanasi MAJHS in the Ashanti region. Well, the NIT will also provide free IT training to the ICT teacher of the school, who also received a laptop computer for his lessons. My colleague Ohimin Teria has more on the story.
It was all joy for students and teachers of Betanasi MAJHS, who until now have resorted to sketch computer device on the blackboard during ICT classes. Many of the students were seeing and trying their hands on computers for the first time. Their happiness was summed up by their ICT teacher, Ura Kwejo Akotuapia. He has for over 6 years taken to the chalkboard to draw Microsoft Word interface and other computer parts for his students due to the absence of computers.
So far as we have this right now, we are going to use it, and I'm sure from there every student will be able to have a feel of the actual product. Yes. Very, 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 very happy. Really, really happy. No more ICT on the board, thanks to NIT. So we are going to make good use of what we've had today. We, the entire staff and the students, wish to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Oyementeria.
In fact, I'm actually happy what they have done for the school, because we are in need of these things. The teachers are eager to teach the children, but the materials are not there, which went all the way for a teacher to draw a computer on a blackboard. So I'm saying that what they have done for the school will go a long way to enhance teaching and learning of ICT in the municipal.
Director of NIT, Yao Amwatin, with the support of Sanjeev Mishra, Senior Manager of the Kumasi office of the firm, handed over the computers to the Municipal Chief Executive and officials of the Education Directorate. He says NIT was touched by the ingenuity of the teacher, who, out of nothing, was bent on providing the best for his students. He also announced a training package at the Kumasi office for the teacher.
What is this? And what is this? Clap for yourself.
And so when we saw this picture making the rounds on social media, it connects directly to what we do, because we're into ICT training and we are building talent. And so one, for a teacher to be that industrious, to come up with such a thing when he barely have resources and did not throw his hands in the air to complain like everybody else, that was remarkable. And then secondly, we also felt that also suggests that there's a pool of talent, which we are here today we're seeing. one would have imagined that in such a place, probably the students would have not even known about the parts of the computer and all of that. But during the demonstration, we realized that they could say everything. So that for us is positive. And that synchronizing it directly with what we do is what actually motivated us to move in here. So for this, as you can see from behind me, we actually brought in 5 desktop computers, that's full set desktop computers. Normally, if you are buying these, you may get one where either you are buying only the system unit and you buy the others in addition, but we got the complete set. So we brought 5 desktop computers, brand new ones. And for the teacher who actually also, brought this news to all of us, we donated to him a brand new laptop computer. And we also came with lots of books, for the student. The total worth of this is costing us about 35,000 Ghana cedis, but we feel that it is something worth doing because, being here and seeing it real, I'm amazed by the talent that is here. And I think that there are multiple pockets of this across the country that can be unearthed.
NIT's gesture has pushed the Municipal Assembly to designate a hall in the yet-to-be inaugurated community center for an IT center for at least 10 schools in Sechedumase. Mohamed Salisu Bamba is the municipal chief executive. He says the assembly will collaborate with NIT for an improved and quality IT education for students in the area.
We are going to establish ICT center here in Sechedumase Township so that all the schools here that are having similar challenges can actually get use of the computers and also make very good use of these ones. So the Municipal Assembly is going to buy some of the computers in addition, and also have a very good and spacious place for the ICT center here. And going forward, I think we should be able to do something similar in the other part of the municipality.
From Sechedumase in Ashanti region for JoyNews, Ohime Teria reporting.
Well, so he got the result on Facebook. And talking about Facebook, we also have a page there. You can watch us live there. And please JoyNews on TV is there for you. But let's move on. We're still focusing on education because the Mafi Kumase Senior High Technical School in the Central Town District of the Volta region has installed an internet-connected time and attendance system to help monitor punctuality of teachers in the school. The initiative, which aims at curbing teacher absenteeism, has so far been helpful as teacher attendance has since been improved since the installation. Here's Fred Kwame Asari bringing us up to date with the latest.
Teacher absenteeism has been one of the contributing factors to the failure of students in their final exams. The Ministry of Education, under the Eastwal Mahama administration, reduced the rate from 27% in 2012 to 7% in 2016 through a zero tolerance for teacher absenteeism policy. That notwithstanding, the Mafi Kumasi Senior High Technical School, in its quest to further decrease the rate of absenteeism and improve academic performance in the school, has installed a biometric time and attendance system. The system, which replaces the manual logbook, has been fed with the biometric data of all teaching and non-teaching staffs. The system allows the teachers to sign in and out electronically using an automated device. The device, which is internet connected, records the time of arrival and departure of teachers attached with their respective names. The data is kept in a cloud which is only accessible by the headmaster. The headmaster of the school, Courage Mateku, noted teacher attendance and punctuality had improved after the device was installed. He added management of the school is weighing options to install a CCTV camera system in classrooms to ensure teachers do not miss their teaching periods.
For example, just last week, I quickly met the staff at our morning assembly, and I mentioned a few names. You were in school on time throughout the week. You were first 4 days you were present, but the 5th day you were behind schedule. And then those who were late, just sample some of them and mention their name that the whole of the week, Monday to Friday, you were late to class. And they all testified. When I was mentioning even the time to them, they all testified that, Master, it is true. So with this, they come to school early. And with the records here, often they come even before 7. Initially, it will be hard unless you are a master on duty before you find them coming to school early. But this time, masters and mistresses, even though they are not on duty, will come and log in.
Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for Central Town, Gabi Hotoje, presented 100 pieces of monodecks to help tackle the furniture challenges of the school. He also donated a hard-body pickup vehicle for use by the administration. Presenting the items, Mr. Hotoje employed Ghanaians to contribute towards the success of government's flagship free senior high school program.
With the coming in of the free SHS, my party has a different policy. We wanted to make it progressively free. Progressively free with the sense that by the time it is fully implemented, we shall have made the nursery resource available. But you know, my party lost power. And the party in power has decided to implement it. It involves Ghanaians. So there is a need for us to give support where support is needed.
The school has also adopted some modern ways of teaching to improve academic performance to migrate the school from among grade E schools to the grade C column. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Mafi Kumase.